Hello and welcome back to the GOAT, Coach D.
Yes,
You got
sir.
something you want to share with our audience, I hear. Is that true?
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and review last session. Let's talk about Tom.
Well,
Review the guy with
we
the
can go
audience.
into Tom and talk about that, but you know what? I know that you got something that you think you're a GOAT now. You think like I am the GOAT because I got this new car.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, yeah. No, I'm not gonna lie. I love my new whip. She's gorgeous. The last car I had was an Acura TL, which I called her the Black Pearl. Now this is the Black Beauty. She's gorgeous. She's a Genesis. She's got everything you need. Booty warmers, keep you cool too. It's got the light up from the bottom. I mean, I just love it, man. It's got more bells and whistles than I was used to from my last car. So very happy. Thank you, Lord, for it.
I'm so excited that you got to share that, D.
I've been talking a lot about it.
So
It's true.
I know. So last week we met with a goat. I mean, we're talking Tom Shaw, a goat of goats. He ended up breaking his back when he was 16 years old. They put him on opiates. He had a 33-year opiate addiction. He overcame that. He rode 50 miles on a hand bike and he wrote a book. I mean, what a goat. That was such an
Man.
interesting interview. I was so excited about that. And I'm so excited about J2 Byrd. We got a young man, a young goat that we're so excited to talk about. D, I know you know him. You have
Yes,
been
very well.
involved in his world for quite a while. So I'm going to let you do the introductions.
Absolutely. Well, J2, first, I kind of want to introduce you to our show. We call it The GOAT because, of course, the greatest of all time is how we attribute that. It doesn't matter if it's a sport or even if you're a parent, but in our focus, we have kind of different meanings behind the G, O, and A and T. One of those being grit for G. And I felt that again, you were 100% all these attributes. You showed grit to grind to get where you wanted to get. You owned your shit when you actually failed and had to learn from coaches and made the wrong decisions. You always showed, acumen as far as your higher intellect of knowing the situation and when to do this, when to go for that steal, when to make that play, when to motivate this person. And then all in all, I thought you had the mind of a champion because you never went to back down until you got the results, which ultimately was winning. So again, I felt that you are 100% a current age GOAT in this world of Kansas City. Young buds kind of come up and trying to get the game right. I heard your voice needs to be heard and they need to hear you proudly, my man. So I want you to kind of introduce you, before we kind of get into some details. How would you introduce you?
Man, first of all, I just want to thank y'all for having me on here. Appreciate the opportunity. I would introduce myself as, James Byrd. I go by J2 because I'm the second, just a open, warm guy, but at the same time, really meaning business behind everything I do. And I really just love the game of basketball. I just love everything about it. Love the process. Man, I don't know. It's just a lot because Coach knows me best. I'm just myself. I just want to do my thing.
100%. You have always been true to you, and that's what I think I've appreciated about you, because a lot of people are true to what they want to do to make others happy, and that's one thing I don't think I've ever seen you ever do is what would make someone else happy. If it didn't make J2 happy, J2 wasn't doing it, period. Until some consequence repercussions had to go on with that.
Yeah.
But I think we met, was it sixth grade? It was a little bit younger
Around
than
that
that, fifth
time,
grade almost. Yeah.
sixth grade? Yeah.
Yeah. So what I want to do is I kind of want to walk through, because again, you show every attribute of a GOAT, and I want to walk through kind of, what decisions you made as a young GOAT, coming up in your AAU and your youth days. So kind of walk me through that stage as far as how was basketball life and, and the adversities you had, and how'd you overcome them?
Say that one more time.
Starting like early years, like sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, before high school.
It really all started just my first AAU team. I played with the Kansas City Kings growing up. That was my first real AAU team, and people know back in the day that was a really good AAU team. So I was backup most of the time back in the day. Started off young being backup, and I kind of didn't enjoy playing backup. I thought I was a lot better than I really was at the time. But nobody ever thinks they're not that good. And then I end up finding Coach Damien. I don't even remember how we really linked up. It just kind of happened. We was at a tryout. I came, played for his team. One of my friends actually was on the team. And I came, tried out for Coach Damien. I enjoyed the connection we made. I liked how he was real, always about his players and putting us first. And he was real, like, personable. And he, you know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't act the same to every player. He read us, and then he reacted to us. So, like, I really enjoyed that about him. And he kind of let me be me on the court and off the court. So
did he challenge?
You know
did he challenge you? Was he pushing you and making you get better?
Yeah, most definitely, all the time, anything, because he never just kind of, even though like I thought I was just so much better than I was. He humbled me a lot at a younger age. Like, he would just let me know, like, there's other people out there doing this and that, and if you want to do this, you got to do that. He was literally just putting me on game the entire time. And even when I didn't want to do stuff, he was like, yeah, I'm not letting you up just because this or that. Like, you're going to have to do this. Like, I'm like, I remember days I was the last one at practice because I'm still running. So he definitely wasn't no pushover. He definitely made sure I was doing everything I needed to do. So I definitely appreciate him.
And did you do what he told you?
Oh, I tried. Well, maybe not the first time, but I definitely did. Maybe not the first few times, but I definitely after I seen my way didn't always work, I definitely started trying his way too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, kind of walk us through, the high school. You played. What was the first school you attended?
My first high school was Bishop Miege. I went to a Bishop Miege Catholic school out in Kansas. Played there my freshman and sophomore year under Coach Turner. Freshman year, I broke my leg playing football, something I shouldn't have been doing. But then I ended up coming back and then played the rest of the season just freshman team. My freshman year, I played freshman basketball. Then I came back my sophomore year, was on JV, played a little varsity, not too much under Turner. And then I ended up transferring to Park Hill South. Mainly, one of the main reasons was because my coach from Bishop Miege had went to South. So originally I was like, oh, I might as well try to go out there. So I ended up moving out that direction, and went to South. Well, my junior year was not what I thought it was going to be at all. I got up there and got hit with a curveball. Everything was a lot different.
What happened?
Man, it was just, I don't know. It was like I got my first taste of like college almost, when the coaches tell you everything you want to hear, and then when you get there, it's really not like that. So when I was there, I was always trying to, I always thought, my dad always taught me, if you always win sprints and play defense, you're going to be noticed. You know what I'm saying? So you don't always have to be the best scorer all the time, but if you play defense and you just be noticed in practice throughout the time, we doing stuff, you finish first and things like that. So I was doing all those things, and I felt like I was, and I just wasn't getting the kind of the love I was, I felt like I should have been getting up there. And so halfway through the season, I ended up, me and coach didn't really agree. So halfway through the season, I ended up actually not finishing out my junior year of basketball there. So I just was a regular student for the rest of the year. And then my senior year, we got a new coach, Coach Parra. That's my guy. He's just like Coach Damien to me in my eyes. Like they definitely two coaches that looked out for me. He got up there, hit my senior year, and everything was just like butter. It just was so smooth. He let just like the Coach Damien, he let me kind of just be myself on the court, and it helped our entire team because we all just got to be ourselves. Everybody played their role. Right. And we actually went on a run, undefeated in conference, went to state, beat top teams like Jason Tatum and Chaminade, and then we ended up losing though in the finals to Blue Springs South, which is another good team. They had Kevin Perrier and KJ Robinson, those guys. Those was actually some other young goats as well.
Right.
And
how did you feel like that season? Your role, you're a senior, right?
Yes, sir.
How did you feel like you did? Like, did you accomplish what you wanted?
I feel like I feel like I actually did really well. Like I started off slow because it was a new transition. You know what I'm saying? I'm really my first year playing varsity basketball. You know what I'm saying? As a senior,
Right.
like it's crazy, crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like looking back, it doesn't make sense. But playing varsity basketball, so I kind of started off slow. You know what I'm saying? 10 points, 12 points. But then once I kind of got the flow of it and the rhythm and everything, I feel like I really had a really good season, especially for just a one-year varsity player.
Right.
And man, the run we had, and it was just crazy. Like I feel like our team was just such like we were such together. Like everybody knew exactly what they
when you mesh, and you mesh at the right time, and you're going into tournament time and just feeling it.
We were just meshing all season from game one. It was just crazy. I think we lost 4 games that entire year. So that was a real good season.
I remember a lot of lobs that you were throwing. I remember that. That's pretty fun to watch. Now, before we go into the next phase, J2, I really want to kind of go into the darkness a little bit. Tell me how it was to be injured and not be able to play basketball.
Right.
Man, that was actually the thing. I didn't even cry when I broke my leg. I didn't cry until they told me I was going to be out for the whole basketball season. And I was like, what? Like, that is crazy. Like, I was doing something I had no business doing, playing football. I just messed up my whole high school career. Like, I'm just like thinking everything's running through my head. I'm like, oh my God. But luckily I had a really speedy recovery. Like, I only missed like 3 games. So I was definitely blessed to come back with a super speedy recovery. I actually grew like 2 inches in my break as well. So
wow.
Yeah, it was just not fun at all.
What drove you to get through that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never had an injury before, and like I didn't really know what to do. Like, and I just was thinking like all the other people that have been getting injured, and everybody said like they don't come back as strong. But then I talked to a lot of people, and they said sometimes you come back stronger, or you know what I'm saying, once you do the rehab and things like that. So I just was looking up, and I was young. I was only a freshman, so like I really wasn't too discouraged at the time. I was just like, man, this is crazy. But like after like the first couple of weeks, I didn't really harp on it or let it get me down too much. I kind of used it as time to get my mental game up with the basketball. I started watching more basketball since I couldn't do anything and things like that. So it kind of helped me. It helped me at the same time as, you know what I'm saying, just allowed me to relax too. Like, I don't know. I didn't think of it as too bad of a thing. Just especially just
compounded. It went like from your what year you said? Your freshman year, sophomore year? Freshman year. And then you didn't actually play varsity until your senior year.
Man.
Because of situations and injuries, and that's got to be. And then you went to college.
Yeah.
And we haven't got to that part yet, but just the fact that you really didn't play basketball on a varsity team until your senior. Amazing.
Year. This is wild to me as well.
Right.
Like I got little minutes, you know what I'm saying? My junior year, I played little minutes.
Yeah.
But other than that,
that's attributing so much to again your dedication to continue to get better. You know, whatever it was, because you had very good AAU season, I thought. So kind of during that with twofold, so I want to kind of stay in the darkness a little bit longer because I want to talk about when you quit the team.
Yeah.
Like, what happened? And what was that like? Being around school around years and all that.
So when I decided to quit the team, I had just was dealing with a lot of mental struggle throughout that season. Getting on myself, feeling like I was being attacked. You know what I'm saying? Like looking back on it now, I don't want to seem. I feel like I was giving excuses, but looking at it now, I would kind of feel like I was being a little weak. But at that age, I was feeling attacked and like feeling like everybody was coming for me. So like, I didn't appreciate certain things that my coach was saying and things like that. So I definitely took all that stuff into account. I had to talk with my dad, and after the middle season game, I just went up to him and told him, you know what I'm saying, like, hey, I don't think I can keep playing this year. It's not good for me. think I might have to go somewhere else or something like that. And talk to my dad, because my dad, we don't quit. He doesn't allow me to quit, but he's seen the struggle. He's seen the toll it was taking on me and all that stuff. So he definitely was okay with that. And luckily,
and the fact that you didn't quit is such a credit to you and your dad. It's like you could have quit very easy freshman year, then sophomore year, then junior year, and it's like, and you stuck with it. And what Damian said is you continue to get better.
Yeah, each year. That junior year was actually the year I actually took off, because once I stopped playing at school, I would go to this community center with all these older guys, and I would be playing with them. So I would be the only high school guy in there playing with all grown men every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I was actually getting better at not even realizing it. And so my senior year, everything kind of just transformed in that summer with Coach Damian. We was working out like crazy. We were playing. We was having a good year. Yeah, I was having a good time. I just felt like I was kind of back, you know what I'm saying, and finally like getting the appreciation that I deserve, especially for that not really playing, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of my friends were always top-notch players, like starting at a young age, like, well, he's on this varsity team, or he's on this elite team and this like that. So I'm hanging out with all these guys, but I'm not on any of these teams.
Right, you're watching all this from afar, going, "Wait,
so I'm trying to figure it out." I'm like, "Oh, maybe I'm not as good as I think I am."
Right.
Yeah, but I think I am, so I'm just going to get better. And
you know you are now.
Working, and yeah, exactly.
It's like you never.
And everybody else does too.
Well, exactly. Right. It's like you just never quit. And when I think of goats and people we have on the show, and the one characteristic that I've noticed about goats is they get knocked down hard.
Oh, yeah.
They get knocked down, and they don't start until their senior year. And but they just don't quit. The only thing that makes a goat is they just never quit. Okay. Yeah. That happened. I'm going to continue on, and then I'm going to continue on, and then it's like, yeah, I'm amazed at your tenacity to be able to continue on as a high school kid at that point.
Hey, that's really cool. Just with the help of my parents and my coach, and like Coach Dame and people like that gave me that positive influence and stuff like that. Like if you hear negative all the time, you're gonna think negative. So they made sure that I heard good things, and Coach Damon always told me I was good. My dad always told me I was good. My mom always told me I was good. So that just helped me build my confidence. So that's right. Yeah, I owe it all to them for real.
I love to hear that. That's cool.
Now let's go ahead and progress to college, because that's what everybody wants to achieve, and you actually got to play. Let's talk about your college experience.
Come on, my college experience was wild. I've been in 5 different schools in 5 years. It's crazy. Wow. Yeah, I know. JUCO 2 years, then Division I, then Division II, then NAIA, then So I done it all. I didn't play at every level, and I definitely know how it goes at every level, and it's wild. Freshman year, I went to Seward County out in Liberal, Kansas. This really good JUCO in the Jayhawk Conference out in Kansas. You know, that conference is really well known for basketball. I actually had a really good freshman year, played about like 25 minutes a game, averaged like 8-9 points as a freshman. Yeah. And I was coming off the bench, but we had a sophomore guard from a D1, so you know how that goes, JUCO and stuff like that. We was like 15-2 in the first half of the season, and then something happened when we came back from Christmas break, and it just got real bad. We just started losing. I really think it kind of happened in the locker room. Like it was kind of a split. It was like freshmen versus sophomores, and we were not. It was kind of bad. I don't know. It was definitely a lot of chaos. You know what JUCO is. It's every man for himself.
Well, it does it any team you've been on. Any team that isn't connected. Like you said, that senior year, man, our team was just connected. We were all on, clicking. Exactly. And if you don't have that, you're not going to play good.
Man, and that usually happens on levels where you still have to achieve the next level. So
Right.
when you have to achieve the next level, you're gonna feel like you're more selfish. It's like why a Pat Beverly could average 37 points in high school, but now he averages like 10 in the NBA because he made it to the
Right.
final goal. Now I can play my role and do what I can do
Right.
good. But nobody else wants to do that growing up, not realizing that'll get you
That's
further.
very true.
And
Wise
that really
words.
yeah, definitely. But so where we at? We're at Seward. Season kind of gets choppy, and I was a qualifier, so I was really trying to leave that year, trying to go to JUCO 1 year and then go to a 4-year.
Mhm.
And everything was just they were just focusing on certain guys and not, you know what I'm saying, thinking just because I'm a freshman I'll be back. And I was like, I'm not trying to come back, you know what I mean? So I just didn't like how they was handling everything. I just kind of noticed too much politics going on. So I decided to come back to Kansas City, and I went to Penn Valley for my second year. And my second year was my best year. Had an All-American year.
Wow.
Averaged about like 19 points. Would have been 20, but I got fouled out of my last game and only had like 8. So it definitely but that year.
A year. That was your sophomore year?
Yeah, my sophomore year was definitely fun. I was definitely running rampant around the whole JUCO, giving everybody 30, 40. I was just having a good season, and coaches was coming in. I was finally getting a lot of looks and schools calling me and all that stuff. And that was really fun. Like I just enjoyed that process. Like a lot of people get that in high school, and I didn't get that in high school. You know what I'm saying? So
right,
finally getting that, and that was kind of cool. Like getting letters and coaches texting me and all that kind of stuff. It was a lot of fun. And so after that year, I ended up going to Missouri State, and I redshirted that year. We had an agreement that I was going to redshirt. And then
before you go there, I wanted to ask. You said you fouled out your last game.
Yeah, so that was a bad game. Those referees got fired, by the way, because I got fouled out that game, right? And I wasn't even near the foul call.
Oh wow,
like, it was crazy. But the referees definitely got fired at that game because they got in trouble for like trying to push a coach through or something like that. Because that team knew they was in
crazy.
trouble. Trouble.
That's crazy.
But,
oh wow.
Yeah.
Right, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I had to ask that question.
No, you're good.
You don't foul, you know.
Yeah, you know me. Get out the way. But then I go to Missouri State, agreed to red shirt. And we had that year. Missouri State had a rocky year that year. But on my side, I actually had a really great year because it was all working out. I literally just got to work out and just get better with all people that have been at that level. Like we had a guy on the team that after that year went to the NBA, another guy went to the G League, and then another player went overseas. So like I'm playing against pro level competition every day in practice. And I'm doing extra work. When they work out, then I got another one because red shirts work out more. So I feel like I was in the best shape of my life, and I learned so much more about basketball. Like the things I used to do before I got there, like I was cutting all that little stuff that little brain farts out and things like that I would have. Like I would have a really good game, and the next thing you know, I would just do something weird. I was cutting all that stuff out, like really polishing my game. And I feel like most State really polished my game. And even though I didn't even play there, and then that year that my coach got fired, he ended up getting let go. So when he got let go, the new coach came in with all his players and his agenda and things like that. So I tried to stay along, but he just told me like I got my guys. So I was like, okay. Wow. So I transferred. I put my name out there, put the transfer, and ended up going to UCM. Went to University of Central Missouri. Went there that year. That was more like it reminded me more of my junior year of high school when I went there. And it kind of was another rocky year. That was when I kind of reached back out to coach because I was going through another mental breakdown, and I was kind of losing my confidence and things like that. So I was just trying.
You think about this, JT, it's like you really never found a home.
Yeah, never.
after that. Yeah, it was like after that senior year, that real connection. It's like you bounced, you moved around, and never got into that groove and got to play a year probably.
Exactly. And I feel like that's a big thing that I wish I could have did. Like I always look back like, man, maybe I should have went to this school instead, or maybe I should have went here.
Right.
But like you never know. And I just know at the end of the day, like my steps are ordered. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm gonna be at the end of the day. But yeah, definitely always look back like, man, maybe I should have went to this school out here in Miami or this school over here. You know what I'm saying? So
well, is it all over?
That's cool. That was.
Is it done? Are you
Say
out
again?
of college?
Yes, sir. I just finished in 2020. This was my last. So the previous year was my last year.
I love it. And are you done with basketball?
No, I am not actually done. I'm actually back working out every day, Monday through Friday. I'm in the gym, getting better every day. I'm actually been talking to some people trying to get back right for the summer camps and things like that, so I can try to get back and try to go overseas. Because I was going to try to go after this season, but COVID just kind of slowed everything down. Because I was ready, like I had 3 leagues, I was ready to get out of here, but they all shut down. So it was just a manhunt, and then so players from top leagues is going to lower leagues, and it's just doing all that. Exactly. So especially not coming out of a Division I school, you definitely got to And my senior year at Central Methodist, I had a really good year. Averaged 18 points a game, and didn't even really play the entire year. I missed a few games due to some outside of school things like that, and still came back and averaged about almost 20 points. I went on a little 8-game tear where I had 22 or more every game.
Wow!
And just really just made havoc in that little conference up there. I was just trying to just do as much as I could in the little time I had. And
hey, do you have the goods to play in Europe or in the NBA? Do you have the goods?
I do. I actually really do. And a lot of people will just say that, but I really do. I have all the intangibles. I can shoot, can dribble, I can pass, make plays, play defense. Defend like any. I'm basketball IQs are there. So, and at the end of the day, I know like people in the NBA are all professional scorers. So, like it's not like you're gonna just lock up everybody, but I definitely can make it tough for some people. And definitely can, and especially when you're getting that work and that consistent work at that level and practicing and things like that. Definitely think I could either, if not, you know what I'm saying, do my thing, definitely hang around in that in all those areas.
Aren't there a couple players you actually kind of not necessarily grew up with but played around a lot when you were younger that are in the league right now?
When I was younger, it was this one, he's a little older, but Alec Burks, he went to my church. He's the league guy. And then my boy Bobo, he's in the NBA now. And then I got a lot of high major D1 athlete friends, you know what I'm saying, guys at KU, guys at Mizzou.
What about Mr. Landry Shaman?
Oh yeah, Landry. That's one of my close friends, really good friend. Me and Landry was rivals, so we didn't do too much talking like that.
Yeah, so tell that story a little bit. Tell that story a little bit.
Park Hill South. He went to Park Hill, and this is his big senior year. He's got all the schools looking at him and everything like that. And we beat him 3 times in a row. It was just so much fun. I just was excited. That's all I cared about was make sure we beat Park Hill. You know what I'm saying? Like our every game was a battle because he's definitely good. Like I don't never want to hate on nobody. He's a pro for sure. He's never cheated. Anytime you might catch me having some fun, he might not be having no fun. He's locked in, and he's another GOAT. Definitely another GOAT. Yeah. I like
Shout
that.
out to Landry. I've seen him because we definitely played against him in the Pumas quite a few times.
Been going at it since we were young. It's crazy. Like, so I was playing Coach Damian, even when I was 3rd, 4th grade, playing with Mocan and things like that. Like, that's crazy. Like, I've been playing against Landry my whole life, even before he hit his little growth spurt and things like that. So yeah, played against Jason Tatum in the championship, the semifinals championship game. Who else played? Tyler Cook. He was on that team. Yeah. So I done played against some guys, some really some high profile guys.
So J2, you know what? We got to start wrapping it up, and I want to get some words of wisdom. You're at this end of, you have fought through a lot. You have got to a really great place, and you're still wanting to go on. So part of this show is how can people get that mentality, the GOAT mentality? What tips or what advice would you give to younger kids that are going through these challenges, getting hurt, being out important times? What advice would you give to
Coaching
them?
situations, all of that.
Yeah.
With me, I would just say I learned from what I've learned looking back now. I would say really learn how to kind of play the game of college, and you know what I'm saying, do the little things like that the coaches like. If they like that you around the team a lot, or being around, or just want to see you in the gym, do those things. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say be like just a little pushover or anything like that, but definitely be attentive to what your coach is like. And then at the end of the day, don't make excuses for yourself. Like, I feel like growing up, I tried to make a lot of excuses, but looking back, I'm like, that's really for me. Like, I really could have did this harder, or I could have tried to do a little better and things like that. So like, don't make no excuses for yourself. And then if you're not putting in no work, then you really shouldn't even be having this conversation. So like, you got to be putting that work in. Like, that's number one. If you're putting that work in, everybody else is gonna notice. So that's really how it is. Like, once I really started, like you said, gritting and putting that work in to make my game better, then that's when I started getting better and more love and things like that. Whenever I wasn't in situations where it was just like kind of hurtful for my environment,
right?
Things like that.
No, they're beautiful.
Those two pieces of advice were excellent, and there's one other piece of advice that you have, this ability to not see losing, or I mean, like said, you didn't start varsity until your senior year. You pretty much lost somehow all the way up, and it's like, and you didn't quit. That to me is just cool stuff.
Man, you really got to.
Glad that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Say that again, J2. Go ahead.
You got to believe in yourself, and now I don't want to say be prideful, but at the same time, be prideful. You know what I'm saying? Like, realize who you are, understand your abilities, and just, I don't know, just kind of put them out there. Like I said, put that work in, and when you really put that work in, everything else will just kind of fall in line.
You know,
that brings.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, so that rolls right into what GOAT tip of the week is. You know, it's to have the freedom to fail. You know, you're not going to succeed at everything. Everything won't go your way. But if you have that one focus of your goal locked in, be okay to fail along the way. You're not going to go from A to B immediately. You're going to take some trek. You might go up a mountain. You might go down a valley. But continue to keep that vision in front of you and give yourself a little bit of allowance to go through some failures, because you're going to learn the things that you will learn. And like I said, if you can listen to the story J2 shared, multiple, that it's a step of learning in the process of failure. It's going to get you to your goal, just as long as you continue to work hard at it. So thank you so much, J2. That was beautiful. Beautiful.
Appreciate it.
You know, they say that the best athletes are the best at failing. So it's true. It's like, how many shots did Michael Jordan miss? You know, last second shot. Did he quit? No, he kept taking them because he was the best odds that they were going to win. It's like, we're going to fail, but we got to keep taking the shot. And that's something that J2 did that just amazes me. Never gave up. That's too cool, my friend. And that probably brings us to the end of the show. But Damien, you got something that you wanted to talk about a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, J2, because when you mentioned the support you've had, you know, the greatest support, I tell a lot of athletes, are their parents. You know, how have your parents been in your journey for you?
Man, my parents have been every step of the way, and I kind of want to brag about it, but I don't want to be too bodacious, because a lot of people in this athletic sport don't have parents like mine, you know what I'm saying, that are at things like that. And my parents never let me not see one of them in the stands ever. You know what I'm saying? Like ever. I picked Missouri State because I was like, my dad got to be able to come see my games. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of things I did was because like I had that relationship with my family, and they definitely were a big part of it. Say that again.
That's where you learn that never quit attitude, dude.
Exactly, because if Coach Damien knows my mom, hey,
yes,
she's not
right.
not one to play at all. So I definitely glad I got some of that from her.
Love you, Angel.
And just determination and his work ethic. Definitely got that from him. So being able to get two great aspects from people and put it together, it's just, you know what I'm saying? That's why you got a young GOAT.
Yes.
And for all you parents out there that may not know how to help your child in their process of being a GOAT, because maybe they're working too hard, or maybe you don't know where you can push them and how to push them, there is a series, what we call is a rule book to sports parenting. It is coming very soon. We have that for you, so be on the lookout. But J2, man, I can't thank you enough. It's so good to see your face, and we're going to get together hopefully next week. Things are starting to die down for me, but let's go ahead and do that. Especially knowing that you in the gym, man. You know, I gotta give you some, buckets every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna move me, little boy. You ain't gonna move me, little boy. You might shake me though. You might shake me though.
I gotta change that bottom down there to big 2. It's different now.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much, and we will be back next week, and we'll be owning our shit.
Always.
Talk to you next week.
Bye, everyone.